Well, this is it. My time in Berlin, Germany has come to an end. And in a couple of days, as of the publishing of this video, I'll be moving back to Finland, where I have to continue my BattleTech journey with new people that I haven't met yet. In this video, I just wanted to talk about my final game here in Berlin. It was a thing I kind of came up with, just, taking ideas from other places and synthesizing them together. And also I'll do a bit of an update on this channel itself at the end of this video. My very final game in Berlin was a grinder, but with some modifications. If you've never heard of grinder, the basic idea is that you can have a lot of players, but every player is only going to control one mech at a time. And when your mech is destroyed, you're going to be able to come back into the game with your next mech. As far as I know, at many events where grinders are played, you often have like a pool of mechs. This time I decided that everyone had the chance to pick out a list of 4 mechs of 5,000 battle value and, modify the pilot skills and stuff. And you'd have to play that list according to tonnage. So your first mech would be the lightest mech, and you'd end up with your heaviest mech at the end. So that was my modification to that one, because I wanted people to be able to play their favorite mechs. So it was like 5,000 battle value in the clan invasion era. Now, as far as I know, most grinders are going to be basically death matches, or maybe like a King of the Hill sort of scenario. But I wanted to add some movement to the game. So, of course, the player who'd rack up the most points in the game would be the winner, and you'd get points by destroying mechs, like 1 point for a light mech, 2 points for a medium mech, 3 points for a heavy mech, and so on. But I wanted to add some movement, and I wanted to have objectives in the game, which you'll see on the screen right now. In the very middle of the map, we're playing on 4 hex maps. There's one objective, and then there's going to be other objectives around that one, about 10 or so hexes away. And the thing is, only one of them is going to be active at any given time. The first round went without any objective being active, and in the second round I rolled a die and one of the objectives was live. And you could get 1 point if you were the only mech standing next to the objective at the end of the turn. So those were the basic points of the game. But since this was my goodbye game in Berlin, I wanted to make it sort of wacky. So what I came up with was a very long list of just random stuff that might happen in a game of BattleTech, or what maybe not a particularly good idea to do. And you might get points for that sort of thing happening to your mech, or you causing something crazy to happen to an enemy mech, or just you doing something stupid. I'll link to a file with my very long list of stuff. It's partly sourced from the BattleTech discussion thread in Something Awful, where I asked for a couple of ideas. But most of the ideas are mine. And a lot of it is just stuff that might happen to you just based on dice rolls. Like maybe you shoot an enemy, like a pristine mech with no damage, and you take their head off in one shot. That's gonna earn you a point. There's also like inadvisable stuff, like doing death from above attacks and charging bigger mechs with smaller mechs and that sort of thing. And then there were some points that were based on your lists, because if someone wanted to bring like a standard variant charger or like an urban mech or something, I wanted to reward that as well. And someone did, in fact, bring a charger. And yes, it was the standard variant one with the 5 small lasers. Also, someone brought a flea, which I also awarded a point, because, they were by far the lightest mech in the game. Oh, and every point in my list was only available once per game. So if you got a very lucky kick that destroyed your enemy mech or something, you'd get the point. But if someone did that exact same thing later in the game, they wouldn't get the point anymore. It would be claimed already. Now, to keep things fair, of course, I wouldn't be able to get any of the points because, I already know what the secret points are, so it doesn't make any sense for me to be able to get it. I wanted the other guys to have fun with my silly grinder game. Of course, I also had some fun prizes for everyone taking part. I bought some sort of rare-ish mechs by Iron Metals mostly from Sci-Fi Trader. A couple of the Clan Invasion salvage boxes as well. And there was like Cobra mech and Albatross mech, which I'd never seen before. An Enforcer 3 or 2. In the end, everyone got to, pick their mechs from the lineup, depending on how many points they got. So the first player got the first pick. I was the last one because, I was running the game and I wanted the other guys to have the chance to pick out their favorite mechs. So, I took whatever was left. I ended up with the Iron Metals metal version of the current Commando model, which is very nice actually, because the Commando I have from the Game of Armored Combat box set, it was the first mech I ever painted, and it looks kind of bad. Not kind of bad, it looks horrible. And I kind of wanted another try at the Commando. So that's what I ended up getting for myself. All in all, a very fun game, very chaotic. The bonus points were a bit of fun. Like, it's great to be able to say that, oh, you got a point for doing something cool or spectacular, and people enjoyed that. Also, my changing objectives meant that the direction of the game was always changing, and people had to shift their attention to different places and had to make some very interesting decisions on whether to go to the objective or maybe just try to destroy everyone else who was also going to the objective. Maybe in the future I'd probably build my list differently. Mine was sort of end-loaded with some heavier mechs at the end there, and I didn't get to play them, so I sort of wasted those points there. I should have just put more or better pilots in my light mechs at the start. So that was my final game of BattleTech in Berlin, Germany. But of course, it's not going to be my final game of BattleTech. I will be finding, hopefully, some new people to play with in Finland and continue my journey there. Now, as for this channel, it's also not going to end here or anything. You might have noticed that I took quite a bit of time to get some videos out lately, and it's very simple. I was sick for like what felt like months, and also I work in education. I'm a teacher, and the end of the school year is always a very stressful time. So combined with me being under the weather for weeks and the stress, and I just couldn't get anything done for weeks at a time. So that's why there was a longer break there. There might be another one after this video. I do have another video that I need to edit together. Might come out next week, maybe the week after, but after that there might be a bit of a break as I move back to my home country and have to get my life sort of running there. But more videos will be coming. I do have some ideas I want to talk about. And also I did end up actually taking part in the Kickstarter, but I only got some books. So when I get those books, I'll definitely be talking about those, doing some reviews. I will be getting the BattleTech Universe book, but also the Great Legion trilogy, which I haven't read. I wanted to read it, so I'll probably be doing like reviews of those books. Also, of course, I do have some more miniatures I want to cover on this channel, so look forward to that as well. And I do have some more other tabletop games that I'll be playing in the near future that I might talk about. So yeah, expect another pause in the future, but also it's not going to be the end of this channel. I'll be back at some point. Who knows how long it'll take. I do have some stuff I want to do for this channel. Anyway, that's pretty much the video for this time. Thanks for watching, and thanks for all the comments, and thanks for sticking around. See you next time.